everybody, and welcome to SyncApp's another Walkthrough Wednesday series. And for this week, we have a brand new topic around marketing strategies on a budget. So I'm Joanna, and I'll be your host for today. And with me is our support team as well as our development team for any questions that you might have throughout the webinar. You can always ask them through the chat box, and they'll be happy to help you out. Also, please be reminded that this webinar is currently being recorded for marketing purposes for post-marketing. So, let's start. For today, our agenda is, of course, I'm going to be presenting about the IDON team, which has successfully or have honored us with their presence today. Next, the IDON team representative, Ms. Adriana Tika, will be showcasing about the marketing strategies on a budget. And then I'll be talking about integrating your email marketing automation apps with SyncApps, and of course, the available SyncApps integration for your marketing automation apps. And finally, we will have a question and answer portion by the end of the webinar. So the IDON team is a very insightful marketers that are from Europe. Their services are, firstly, they offer marketing strategy for tech companies. With more than 5 years of experience in international IT market, the IDON team can create and implement a future-proof strategy for your hardware, software, and smart home products. Second, they also offer content creation and marketing. From social media and white papers to web and blog content, IDON has the experience and expertise to plan and write the content that your customers are looking for. Thirdly, IDON also offers social media marketing and management. So if you have problems with managing your social media networks, you can always ask them to help you out. For today, we are graced with the presence of IDON's very own founder and owner, Ms. Adriana Tika. So hi, Adriana.
Hey, Joanna. Nice to be here. Hey, everyone.
Hi, we're really glad that you could join us for today.
Same here. I'm excited to talk about marketing strategy on a budget. It's sort of our specialty.
Mm-hmm.
So let's begin, okay?
Okay, that's great.
So first of all, I think we should talk about the multitude of digital marketing channels that every marketer has to choose from. As you can see, there are literally thousands of them, especially if you split them by tiny categories. For instance, we can say that social media is a marketing tactic in itself, but we all know that there are several social media networks that you have to choose from. This multitude of choices typically leads to choice paralysis or the fear of missing out. As marketers, I'm sure we're all familiar with it. We know that we want to be everywhere, and we sometimes envy the bigger companies who seem to have enough budget to be on every medium, digital or not. But here's the catch: when you try to be on every digital marketing channel possible, what you end up doing is stretching yourself and your budget way too thin. I always recommend our clients to focus on what really matters for their business. More importantly, we have new digital marketing channels appearing every day, and this can really mess up your budget. When you hear a friend or a colleague saying that there's a hot new social network that everyone's on, you kind of feel compelled to check it out, and that's perfectly fine. What you don't need to do is jump aboard that train without considering it thoroughly. When you are on a tight budget, you need to have a laser focus if you want to hold everything together and especially if you want to get results. Which brings us to, of course, getting those results. In order to get the results you need, you have to know how to set goals. As marketers, we sometimes tend to get lost in vanity metrics. We tend to say that traffic, for instance, is a goal, but traffic is never the goal. Traffic is a means to an end. You need traffic in order to convert your leads to sales. But your ultimate marketing goals should be aligned with your business goals. And in order to get the most of your marketing on a budget, you should be able to set SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Let's see some examples. I want my business to grow. Don't we all? That's basically the start of a goal, but if you really want to get there, you need to have something more measurable and timely. For example, I want my business to grow by 20% year over year. This is something that you can track, and you can track the efficiency of your marketing tactics against this goal. More importantly, you know that you can hold your entire marketing team accountable for this goal. Another example, I want more clients. Again, everyone wants that, but in order to keep your business afloat, to even have it grow, you need to be very sure of how many clients and what type of clients you need in order to achieve your financial goals. So the I want more clients goal should be transformed into I want to acquire at least 10 premium clients per month. As I was saying, you need goals that are very, very specific. The more numbers in them, the better off you'll be. Because while it's nice to say that you had 1 million visitors to your website in the past month, the truth is that traffic doesn't really pay the bills or the employees. More importantly, when your goals are SMART, it's much easier for you to identify what works in your marketing strategy and which of the tactics you should not be using anymore. If you let yourself overcome by the fear of missing out and by the need to be on board every new trend that appears, and we all know that in digital marketing there's at least 3 trends appearing every year, and I'm only talking about the big ones here, you'll end up losing your focus and wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. What I like to do when setting new strategies for my own company and when helping our clients with their strategies is ask a very simple question. Will this help me grow? Do I really need to be on Instagram, for instance? Will it help me get more clients, more sales? If the answer is yes, then it's worth taking a shot and allocating a part of your budget to that. If the answer is no, but maybe it's just cool or our competitors are doing it, then you should steer clear of it. Now, how can you choose the digital marketing channels that are worth your time and financial investment? The answer is actually very simple. You should always go back to your buyer persona. The buyer persona profile is a document that should exist in every company, irrespective of its size. You need to know your buyer persona as in depth as possible. You need to go beyond the psychodemographic characteristics like age group, gender, job. You need to know what they like, aside from your product, obviously. Are they runners? Do they like movies or TV shows? Every little bit of information on them will help you create better products and, more importantly, better marketing strategies, because you will know where you can find them. If your buyer persona is on LinkedIn, then you should be there too. If they're on Instagram, you should be there. If they hate to receive email, you should stop emailing them and try to reach them using another platform. um, when you go do your research for your buyer persona, uh, you can start, for instance, by interviewing a few of your clients. Learn what blogs they read. Maybe you could guest post there. Do they like podcasts or blog posts? Do they prefer to tune in on a webinar like this one, or would they rather read a white paper alone at home? Also, your research should reveal what tone of voice you should use on each and every one of those channels. To sum it up, knowing your buyer persona means that you will know where you should be promoting yourself and where you should not be wasting money. Now for the somewhat juicier part, actual low-cost marketing tactics and channels. When you narrow it down based on your buyer persona and your budget, you will still be left with some choices. And some of them are tough because every digital marketing tactic comes with its own pros and cons. In my experience, I've learned that there are a few tactics that work in virtually any industry. For example, SEO, search engine optimization. It's the tactic that has the most long-term benefits. You don't need a big initial investment, but you need to be constant about it. You can't write a blog post and hope it will yield clients for years to come. What it can do, on the other hand, is bring clients for years if you stick to it, if you update your content frequently, if you again go back to your buyer persona and find out what their pains and what their needs are, and try to respond to those pains and needs with in-depth content. Which brings us to the second point: blogging and content writing. It doesn't just boost your traffic, but when you create evergreen content, you can get leads and convert leads with that content for literally years to come. These are what we call, I think it was a term coined by HubSpot actually, evergreen content, the type of blog post that stays relevant for years to come. For example, if you write a blog post about recent changes in the Google algorithm, that's not evergreen content because it will be obsolete by the next Google update. But if you write a post on how to choose the right digital marketing channels for your business, people will go back to that wireframe you create for years to come. Another cost-effective digital strategy is, of course, email marketing. Some studies show that it can have a huge ROI, up to more than 4,000%. Yes, 4,000, not 400. And I'm sure you already know there are platforms that you can use that come free or with a very small monthly fee. And all you need is to create your own marketing list and to send out to write your own newsletters. Compared to PPC ads, for example, it is way cheaper, and it can, if done properly, again thinking about your buyer persona and what they like to hear and what they need to, what information they need to receive from you, it can actually bring in more results. I also listed the PPC ads here, pay-per-click ads, like Google AdWords or Facebook ads. I know that most marketers on a budget try to steer clear of them because you can end up spending thousands of dollars in a single week. But with the recent changes in the Facebook algorithm, for instance, most business pages have become irrelevant if they do not sponsor their content. In our experience with clients, we noticed that even a smidge of a budget put into Facebook ads, for example, can help boost awareness and even clicks immensely, because there's a catch-22 in Facebook ads, if you will. The more popular one of your posts is, the more popular it will become. If more people engage with it, they like it, or they comment, or they share it, the more people, the more Facebook thinks that it's relevant to other users as well. So it will serve it even more. So if you can invest even $5 or $10 in boosting a post that's important to you, you should go ahead and do that. It will be money well spent, especially since Facebook has an ads platform where you can truly go in depth when choosing your target audience. For Google AdWords, for example, I like to use it when launching a new service or a new product. It's a good testing platform. It also helps with finding relevant keywords, but it can really get expensive, especially if you're in a very competitive industry. Lastly, I always recommend our clients to focus on tool integration. At first glance, it may seem like something that only big companies are supposed to be doing because they have a lot of tools, and they are willing to spend money on bringing them together. But the truth is that even if you only run on a social media management tool, a CRM, and an email service provider, integration of these can come in with great insights that will help you make even more of your marketing budget, no matter how small it is. When you can see in your CRM, for instance, data from your email service provider, then you know which of your leads or your potential clients are digging your campaigns, which of them are inactive and shouldn't be focused on, and so on and so forth. And lastly, there are a few less known free or very affordable marketing channels and tactics. If you want to invest very little money, I always suggest you can start answering questions on Quora. It's a huge forum with with questions in every field, so you'll most likely find a lot of people in the same industry where you are. And if you really take the time to answer questions in detail, then you'll see a great uptick in your own traffic and a great boost in your ranking. What you should not do on Quora, for instance, is simply type in, "Oh, that's a great question. I wrote a blog post on it. Here's the link." People on Quora already know what clickbait is. If you want to draw some SEO juices and maybe even some leads from Quora, you should take the time to at least summarize the blog post you are referring to. Give the information on that platform or the bulk of it. Similarly, a lot of marketers today ignore Reddit. Of course, much like on Facebook or Twitter, you can pay to promote your stuff on Reddit, but you can also use it for free. There's a Reddit for everything. There's even a Reddit where people post photos of birds with arms and knives. Yes, that's a thing apparently. So if that exists, you can bet that your industry is there. Again, much like on Quora, you should go in and answer questions as thoroughly as possible. Be helpful. Don't be promotional. Let people know that you care and be eager to showcase your expertise. Similarly, another thing that can help you make the most of your budget is focus on your neighbors. I know even if your business isn't local, you don't have a grocery store or a pub in your town, you should always start by reaching out to those closest to you. As I'm sure you already know, people today are very eager to support local communities. So if they could buy from you instead of buying from someone across the country, they will do that. You can always attend local meetings or engage with people on local forums or Facebook or LinkedIn groups. And in case you thought Craigslist is simply a place to sell your old fridge, maybe you should take another look if your industry um, fits the bill. You may even find clients via Craigslist. Of course, speaking of basics, you should always have a complete Google My Business listing. I always encourage my SEO clients to make sure that everything in their Google My Business profile is accurate. Make sure that your phone number, your email address, your website, your physical address, make sure that all these things are listed just as they are listed on your website. And if you are focused on content creation, which I highly recommend, you should think about repurposing content. Creating original and valuable content can be hard at times. And speaking of buyer personas and different preferences, you may find out that you spend 2 days writing a very in-depth blog post, but that your persona doesn't really like to read such a long blog post. Then you can easily turn it into a slide share, or you can create a more engaging white paper out of it, or a podcast. Take a look at your older blog posts and see which of them can be turned into another type of content. And lastly, I suggest you engage in discussions on Facebook or LinkedIn groups and even Twitter chats. You will have a chance to network with peers and again show your expertise in your industry. Once again, and I cannot stress this enough, try to be helpful, not promotional. Instead of saying that you have the greatest team in real estate in your area, try to help. Try to give people useful tips on how to find a home in your area. They will understand that you have a great team if you can explain this clearly and in layman terms. Lastly, I would like to stress that marketing will never be 100% free. You have to consider that even if it only costs your time, that's still a cost you incur. Your time, your team's time, all that comes with money. Once again, your marketing budget, no matter how small it is, can always be enough if you focus on your goals and if you keep your marketing strategy on track and aligned with your business goals. You shouldn't adopt new marketing channels or spend money on them just because they're trending. Similarly, you should never try to do too many things at once. I'm speaking from experience here. I did that a lot. Founding a new business, a marketing agency, isn't all that easy. So I did the better part of these errors while very well knowing that it's mistaken, and I did stretch myself way too thin, and I ended up I wouldn't say messing, but definitely not doing as well as I could have. If you feel like you're too tired or you don't have all the skills you need for a certain part of your marketing strategy, it's always best to outsource it. I know it may seem like it costs money that you don't have, but in the end, when you draw the line, you will find out that you're better off outsourcing content or a graphic design or any other part of your marketing to someone who's truly a specialist and which gives you time to focus on what you should really be doing or coming up with new strategies to grow your business. And of course, I'm sure Joanna will have a lot more to say on this. Don't forget to integrate your tools. Technology can be a huge lifesaver, but you will realize that if you rely on a lot of tools, your information will be spread everywhere, and you'll find yourself drowning in data that you can't make heads or tails tells us. So when you can integrate everything on a single platform, the insights you need to create better and cheaper marketing campaigns are actually served to you on a virtual silver platter. Joanna, I'm sure you'd like to explain more about this. This is what I had so far. So
So
thank
yeah,
you.
thank
you
you
for
so
listening.
much, Adriana, for that very thorough presentation. And on behalf of SyncApps, we really are highly appreciate your time to be with us today. So everyone, Adriana is an insightful marketer with more than 8 years of experience in successful designing and implementing of marketing and communication campaigns. If you'd like to get in touch with Adriana and her team from IDON, you can always send her a message or visit their website via the chat box that I sent out down below. Okay. So, as Adriana said, I will be showcasing you or talking more about integrating your marketing tools such as your email marketing automation apps. So before we start, I have here a very short video clip on how SyncApps work for email marketers out in the world. Okay. See here.
Jessica works at a small marketing agency. Her boss asked her to manually input their clients' individual contact info from their CRM to their marketing automation software, then sort it into different lists. She's stressed out, as it will take some time. Then, later that week, she was so pressured because her boss added another task. She's still on the previous task, which is to sort clients into different lists. Jessica told her boss about her hurdles with this task. Her boss remembered that one of her friends, who works at another marketing agency, uses SyncApps by Kazumi. Then they tried it, and voila! SyncApps solved Jessica's problem by automatically integrating her CRM campaigns to their marketing automation lists. This means that Jessica and her colleagues can do more client sales outreach instead, since SyncApps will do its integration magic. Hassle-free, isn't it?
So basically with SyncApps, we automate your marketing automation apps with your CRM or any other ERP or e-commerce applications. We do that automatically for you. So what are these SyncApps advantage? What do you get by integrating your email marketing automation apps with SyncApps? So firstly, of course, you save time. The average business wastes 2 hours per week on manual data issues, and you have more errors. They are more prone to manual errors, and you get a lot of time to manually input the data. With SyncApps, we of course let you focus on your sales and other matters that drive your business. So with SyncApps, we save you time. As the saying goes, time is money. And with SyncApps, we automate that in a very fast and easy process for you. So second, SyncApps always and seamlessly syncs your data bidirectionally. So with Kazumi or SyncApps, you can seamlessly integrate your cloud, on-premise, or plugin applications and integrate them with your email marketing automation apps. Thirdly, SyncApps allows you to stay productive. So if you're using CRMs, your Excels, or your ERPs, or other tools separately from your automated email marketing apps, you have probably wasted over 13 days each year in manual efforts. So imagine with SyncApps, you save a lot of time, you stay productive, and we automatically and seamlessly integrate your data bidirectionally. So what are the SyncApps integrations, and how do we integrate your email marketing automations via SyncApps? It's very easy. So how does SyncApps integration works? It is in 4 steps. Firstly, we have your CRM app or any other app in that case. Let's say you have your contacts, your leads or accounts, or all of those records data that is from your app 1. and we sync that over to your email marketing automation app. We then filter those records according to lists or groups depending on your email marketing automations. After that one, you can then send out email campaigns to your lists, and those list members are from your CRM app. After gathering the email campaigns, you will get your campaign responses. So all of those campaign metrics, such as opens, the clicks, the bounces, the forwards, and the opted outs, will be synced back to your CRM app. So with SyncApps, we do this all seamlessly for you. This whole cycle for your CRM and your email marketing automation apps. Very easy, right? So what are the major SyncApps features? So aside from all of the basic features that our integration platform offers, we also have the filtering and segmentation feature. So this feature is actually a very powerful and very robust feature that we can sync specific records accordingly to the filters that you have set. So you can set different filters for your CRM records so they can be segmented into different lists in your email marketing software. Next, we also have custom field mapping. So let's say you have a particular field that you'd want to be integrated from both of the apps. Well, with SyncApps, we can map that for you. Third, we also offer real-time syncing. So all of your data are updated by real time. Imagine that. No manual effort needed. And lastly, we do a full sync. So the full sync feature is your records from both of your apps, App 1 and App 2, are updated fully and are fully synced. So here I'll be showcasing you our top email marketing integrations. So what are SyncApps' top email marketing automation integrations, you may ask? So we have these top apps that we are currently integrating. So most of our subscribers are subscribed to these integrations or these app combos. So we have Salesforce to Constant Contact or MailChimp. We also support Zoho CRM to MailChimp and Constant Contact. We also have the NetSuite to MailChimp, and also we have for Constant Contact. We also have the Dynamics 365 to Constant Contact, and our new integration, which is our MindBody to Infusionsoft. And of course, if you're integrating your accounting system, such as QuickBooks, to your email marketing automation system, that is totally applicable and supported at SyncApps. So these are just some of our top email marketing automation integrations. To date, we have over 130 available SyncApps email marketing automation integrations. If you'd like to know more on your software that you're using, you can always ask us or send us a message at support@kazumi.com or visit our website to know more information about our app combos and the applications that we support here at SyncApps. So, as Adriana had said earlier, the email marketing strategy that you will be using for your business, the return of investment for that, or the ROI, is estimated at 4,300%. So imagine that with SyncApps. Let SyncApps do the heavy work for you. And that concludes my presentation and Adriana's presentation. So do you have any questions for our team? So I think that we don't have any other questions. So we thank you all again for joining us on another successful SyncApps Walkthrough Wednesday series. And I thank you all for coming. Adriana, we really appreciate your time to be with us, and we hope that you could join us for the next coming webinars that we will be hosting for our subscribers.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you too. It was lovely talking to you today, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. You can always visit Adriana and her team at their website at idon.pro. And if you need more information on SyncApps and Kazumi, you can always visit our website as well at kazumi.com. Or if you'd like to ask our support team, which we have a 24/7 support, you can always send us a message at support@kazumi.com. And you can always book us a one-on-one dedicated phone call as well with one of our sales engineers for a more thorough integration on your email marketing automation apps. So this is Joanna, and it's been a lovely Wednesday with you, and I hope you have a wonderful day ahead. So thank you guys so much, and bye.